What's going on, guys? You know, I wanted to tell a joke. I got a bunch of jokes about unemployed people. You know, I'm out here busting my butt every day, but I got a lot of jokes about unemployed people, but unfortunately, they never work. Alright guys, we got part of this one. I brought you down a few months back to look at it. We got part of it. This over here, the top building we're not doing. They just wanted this for my air conditioner. This lower section they want done. So that's what we're gonna do. I think this is gonna be a new building for this company. So they want it fixed and painted. So that's what we're gonna do, is get it washed for them so they can get that done. See, this lower section here is what they want washed on this side, but that up there is the nasty part. So just gonna take some before pictures. Shouldn't take too much time, and then we'll be on the road. All right guys, job number 2 for the day. That first one we end up having some exhaust soot instead of green. So that's green, that's organic. You got a bunch of webs back here. We just washed this one last year, about 14 months ago, 15 months ago. But just a big old side, bunch of cobwebs. All these gutters were really bad last year, and just some green. It just stays wet back here because there's so many trees. So nothing we can't get rid of real quick. We'll hit that little canopy a little bit, see what we can do. Clean the gutters out on this one the other day. So the big thing with this one is all these cobwebs right here. Take pictures of that. But yeah, the first job we got on today was, instead of it being organic, it was exhaust soot. So you can rub it with your finger, and I could have rubbed it with a shirt, but it's a business that's getting remodeled, and there was contractors there when I got there. Those contractors showed up when I was there, and then there was people from the office came while I was there too, and I figured if I'm gonna have to go over there and brush the front, probably what I'm going to end up doing is just brushing it, was just to go ahead and come back later. So I washed the house, I washed the building and got it took care of. So now it's just a matter of going back and brushing some of the vinyl. Nothing major. I don't carry a brush on the truck with me, and so I don't carry a brush on the truck. Maybe I should, especially that. I just thought it was going to be dust, and it ended up being soot. I should have checked it with my finger. But I think I'm gonna put you up on a time lapse and watch this one. All right guys, I don't know how much on that time lapse you can actually see. I'm just now starting to take my after pictures. I mean, the shade hit back here. It's kind of hard to see on some days when it's shady, because you can't tell a lot. But I know these air conditioning units, they were pretty bad they were pretty bad green around them. The gutters were pretty bad, not too bad. But just taking some after pictures. You know, if you guys have followed me that long, you'll know that this house is the one that I had burned up all the grass through here, a lot of it, last year because I did a roof wash. And I applied it. It started raining. I had everything wet down, which was good. This downspout here had, you know, some burn to it. She had 2 sedums right here that had browned, but they didn't die, and they didn't like the way that looked. So I actually, after being out of the ground for 2 weeks, if you guys want a hardy plant, after being out of the ground for 2 weeks during a drought, I took the sedums that had been browned here, buried them at my house, or planted them at my house, and they're still living. So I had came and put lime through here and grass seed. It was maize, so it wasn't like a lot of it was going to take, which, I mean, he has a lot of Bermuda through here, so that's what's going to take over. But I had took up 2 sedums here. Pretty sure that rose bush is new, and I really don't remember what all we replaced. There's the sedum. They've already cut it. And see, I think I moved that one, put that one there, and then did that. But anyway, I was glad they called me back. Sometimes, you know, a customer may get a bad taste in her mouth and not want you back. More than likely planted that one because it's a sedum, because that's what I had replaced. But yeah, and then through here, it was a little brown, but what had happened on this one was I got up on the roof, sprayed it. It starts raining, it dilutes my mix. I run out of mix, have to go back home, and I didn't spray everything down when I got done. This is not going to be a good after picture whatsoever, but I had to spray everything down. Well, I got back up there and sprayed this down. Well, when I was up here spraying on that side, it burned up through here. When I was spraying and it came over, it did, you know, burn up some stuff. So I just didn't wet everything down. I didn't do what I should have. I did the first time, and then I just kind of had a brain fart. So luckily they called me back this year. We got the gutters cleaned out for them last week. This week we got the back of the house washed for them. So, you know, it was my fault. I admitted that it was my fault. I mean, I had a brain fart when I come back. So, you know, why argue when you know it's your fault? Just accept it and try to help them out the best you can. So what we did is we come and took up some plants, put some more down, seeded and limed the yard, and hope for the best. So if you let your customers know that you care about them, you know, I could easily say, well, you done paid me, I'm not coming back. But, you know, that's not the kind of business we want. So just keep that in mind. But now we're on to the next one. Alrighty guys, here is job 3 for the day. I'm gonna pull out this soft wash hose and show you what we're working with today. This is a roof we cleaned, I think, 3 years ago. I'll show you. So after 3 years, some of the stainings come back there, and I'd say that's probably the only spot. But we're gonna go ahead and just go ahead and treat the whole thing. That way it all gets washed at the same time again. There has to be something in this area that makes that stain. So don't know what that is, but we gotta wet all this down. It's 80 degrees today, it's not too bad. But I mean, we're gonna have to wet the whole back of the house, the trees, the plants over here. If you're shooting on this peak, you're gonna have some runoff. So all of these plants gotta get watered. The grass has to get watered. So everything has to get watered. Looks like it's been 2 years since we washed the house, and it's even due again. So may end up doing that before may end up doing that again before it's over with. So, let's get that picture. Alright guys, if one thing you learn from this channel and you're interested in roof washing and house washing, houses isn't that big of a deal, and I mean, you still have stuff you got to worry about, but the mix shouldn't be so strong you're going to kill plants. But when you're doing a roof, I have watered this whole deck, all the grass out to here, this tree, all the way down around through there, plus all the landscape. So just be cautious. Don't be afraid to use water. You know, we came over here, we had a few streaks in here, and I got them sprayed. I'm gonna go down here and spray the other half of the house, and sun's hitting it so you can't tell, but I mean, you know they're gone. But that's all there is to it. I put my ladder here, and I was able to spray from here all the way down to that side, and then I have another section left down there, and then I'll be just waiting on make sure that everything got gone, so we don't have to come back and make sure everything's clean. So that's it. Alrighty guys, you can tell we had some streaks. Now it's clean. Now it's hard to tell on a day like today because the sun's hitting it so much, but all that's clean where it was. It had a few streaks down through here, and all that'll be wiped off. Good to go. Next time we'll be doing the house wash. Alright guys, here's finished product. Still got a little bit working up there. I had a little extra left over in the hose, so as I was flushing the pump out, I went ahead and just hit a few areas again. But as you can see, well, I come down here to take a good after picture, and the sun wants to come back out again, but we hit this. I just sprayed these sections again just because I had it in the hose, and yeah, it's gonna be good to go. You know, lesson on this one, when I first came and did this 3 years ago, I had to run my power. I was running an electric pump, had to come over here to this outlet, and let me go turn this pump off. I had to go, I didn't have the generator on the truck, so I had my 5.5 pressure tech pump that you plug in. I had it up here, and I didn't have these hose reels, didn't have that mix tank, and so when I pulled up to the job, and I thought I was going to be able to spray it from the ground, and I could have if I wanted to waste a lot, but I didn't. And I had one of them adjustable ladders that I used the first time, but then I realized I couldn't hit that peak, so when I come back the second time, I just got on the roof and sprayed the whole thing. But the first time I did this job, I had all this hose, I pulled it out. I had an extension cord hooked up over here to an outlet they had. For whatever reason, it was tripping. That pump tripped a lot of cords, or tripped a lot of outlets. I don't know why, because it wasn't that powerful. But I had to run it to here. I didn't have a mix tank like I do now. Didn't have my hoses where I could just reel them up. I wasn't real good with property preservation, so luckily, or protection I should say, so luckily I didn't burn any plants up, because this was, you know, one of the few that I had done. Hadn't did too many at the time, so I was still learning processes, and I still am. But you know, it ended up coming out really good. They were satisfied with it, actually recommended me, referred me to somebody else, and I got that job. But just what a difference in 3 years makes. You know, I see my setup and I'm still not where I want to be, but at the same time I can look at back where I came from just a few years ago too. So if you guys are out there, you don't have the best setup, you don't have the setup you want, just use what you got until you can change. When you change it, when you can upgrade, do it. But just don't fret on, I don't have what this company's selling, or what this guy has, or what this guy has. Just use what you have the best you can, get the most knowledge you can get, and yeah, That's all I can tell you. It's what I do. Just use what I can, use what I have, and it all works out. So that's job 3. Let's go on to number 4. Alrighty, we on project number 4 today. This looks like it's pretty rough. A little small place though, nothing major. I'm just trying to find the water source on it. Seems like I can't find the water source. Unless it's hidden over here somewhere. But this one, as I come over here to the neighborhood sometimes to bring my mom's stuff, he's seen all the stuff in the back of the truck. He said, hey, do you wash houses? How much would you charge me for this one? So I give him a price on it, and here we are. So right now I'm just trying to find the water faucet because I can't seem to find anywhere where the water faucet would be. Of course, the lovely neighbor down here let me know that he'd be home anytime, which I've already talked to him, and that he's in a wheelchair and that he wouldn't be able to get out with my cone there. You gotta love him nosy neighbors. I've talked to him. I know I know that he's in a little mobile cart, but she felt the need to let me know that, which that was her duty for the day. But anyway, I'm gonna give him a call, see if I can find out where his water source is so I can get this thing washed. Because if I can't find the water source, I'm gonna have to go about it totally different from what I was going to. So this is project 4. All right, guys, so this 4th job is definitely a doozy. No outside faucet. So he says you can hook up to where my washer is hooked up, and this is for an old vet. I gave him a really good price on it. I don't care to do stuff like that to help people out. He's in a wheelchair, so I unhooked his water from his washer, and yeah, I unhooked the water from the washer, unplugged the cable. I have the hose running through the door. He don't care if the carpet gets wet. There's a little crack. I mean, I feel like a hack doing this, but he said he was fine with it. I'm trying to help him out, so that's what we're doing. Alrighty, guys, we are done with this one for now. I'm gonna go ahead and get some after pictures. You know, I felt like a hack on this one because I went to the guy's house, unplugged the plug-in that he had plugged in for something, and then I had to unhook his cold water from his washer to hook up the water hose. And then he said, well, just go ahead and we'll leave that door open, that'll be fine. Well, as I'm out here working, I can hear my pressure washer running crazy. Well, he had pinched my water hose off with the door to keep the door shut, that he said he didn't care if it was open or not. And so I'd spray for 5 minutes, or about 5 minutes, Lord. I'd spray for about 10 seconds, and then I'd stop for about 10 seconds. I'd spray for about 5 seconds, and then stop for about 10 seconds. And that's how it went. He has some kind of staining down here on the bottom. I don't know what that was, but it wasn't anything organic. I don't know if it's a rust or a grease, I don't know. But, I'm pretty sure it's some kind of exhaust. But anyway, That's job 4 for the day, and I'm ready to wrap it up and go home. We'll catch you next time.